I feel like I'm in an episode of Dark Mirror. I'm just like,
we are an episode of Dark Mirror.
Which doesn't freaking end.
And we don't have to be happy about it, Cheeseman. You seem to be happy about it.
Look, like Obama said, the aliens are here. They've been watching us for generations. Like, just get over it. Just get over it.
I'm gonna come.
Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah. We like our oatmeal lumpy. What's up, kids? It's the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel Epic Fury Cheeseman.
This is Chad. Where's my dog, Sowash?
And this is Emmy. I am super stuffed today. Where would you go?
And on this episode of HR's most naughty podcast, iCims gets a makeover, Indeed gets a CTO, and Jack Dorsey gets lean and mean. Let's do this.
Epic fucking fury. Can we just stop breaking stuff?
I miss 1 week and war breaks out. This is what happens.
Don't go away again. Don't go away. Yeah.
Don't go away. Say what you say.
That is a beautiful voice there.
Sorry, you set that up so nicely. I mean, we didn't even plan that. So war has broken out, everybody, and the Europeans. How you feeling? How you feeling about being sort of close to bombs and missiles flying?
To be honest, I'm pissed off, because I'm supposed to be going to Sri Lanka in a week and a half.
Look at this impact.
Honestly, and I was sitting there with my mum this weekend, and she's like, how long is the flight? And I said, it's going to be 13 hours. And then with a stopover. And then I suddenly went, shit, the stopover is in Abu Dhabi. I'm not stopping over in Abu Dhabi. These flights are not going ahead. And this is after literally a week, almost every single day, planning a multi-stop tour across Sri Lanka. And I was like, I've just wasted all that time for no reason. I had no idea that Trump was going to impact my life in this way, my holiday plan. So I'm pissed.
Most people don't, even American. Yeah. But now it's beyond that. So if you take a look at flight patterns, it's really interesting because I was looking at flight patterns yesterday, and obviously they have to go outside. So everything is literally streaming into like a funnel. Where usually it would just go over, a different airspace, and now they're streaming into a funnel. So it's like, you just can't get that many airplanes through.
You can't.
That's that little area. Yeah. So it's gonna suck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's gonna mean long term for flight patterns. Obviously, it depends on how long this bullshit takes.
I know people who went to Dubai on holiday. They are stuck out there.
I have friends in Bangkok right now. I've got friends in Bangkok right now. They're stuck. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's just, honestly, it makes me so angry. Yeah.
Surprisingly, CNN this morning in the States had British Parliament on, which never happens. It's so entertaining to watch British Parliament. There's nothing in the world like what the chaos of people yelling at each other and the speaker reprimanding people. It was great. It's like, I can read lips. Like, you're out of here if you keep talking that shit. That's my British accent, everybody. But
I think a couple of weeks ago you were talking about the ways that Trump will go to be able to try to bury the Epstein files.
There you go. And he's talking about it. You can't have an election if you're at war, it's fucking chaos.
Yeah.
By the way, I was a year off on the prediction of war with Iran.
You predicted it, did you?
Like 2 years ago with Levin. I don't know if it's a prediction, but we talked about it. I I don't think this ends anytime soon.
No.
I think this is a fucking quagmire. And what I've heard is they're launching drones so they can sort of empty our stock of interceptor missiles, and then the real shit starts coming. So
great.
Yeah, it could get interesting. China can't be happy with what's going on.
No.
Well, nobody's fucking happy.
Nobody's happy.
I mean,
but
nobody's happy.
strategically, China.
Well,
really,
and then you take a look at him saying that we're going to have boots on the ground. This is not going to go well.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he said he wasn't going to do that when he got elected.
There's nothing he said during the election that.
Chad, I know Megyn Kelly's probably not on your list of to dos when you but she has an interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene. And
Trailer Trash Barbie.
Marjorie's like the ultimate MAGA, no wars and everything, and she just like goes off. It's very entertaining. I know Megyn Kelly isn't on your hit list, but
no.
But do yourself a favor, and it's a pretty funny interview. Almost as funny, guys.
Yes.
To switch the topic, you're over there in Europe, and they have McDonald's there. Last I checked, have you seen the Big Arch tasting by McDonald's CEO? Have you seen? It's taken TikTok and social by storm.
No.
Yeah. So I watched Garen. If you watch TikTok and there's this Irish influencer. His name's Garen. He's a big dude. He's got long hair. He's follow me. I'm delicious. That's like his byline.
Oh, I love that guy.
Fucking hilarious. He does the overview for that, and that is the best video. And then once you see that, I mean, it's like it's stuck in your head. So it's freaking hilarious.
It is great. If you haven't seen it, it's he makes Bill Gates look cool. This guy is so nerdy, and he's got like a vest on, and he's trying this burger, which is called the Big Arch. It's like 2 quarter-pound patties,
which he calls
tons of
our product.
The product, not the Big Arch.
Yeah.
And anyway, so he takes like a little bitty nibble out of this thing, and this tastes. It's so bad. We talk about authenticity with CEOs, and McDonald's totally dropped the ball on this one. I can't believe that dude is CEO of McDonald's.
So bad and hilarious at the same time.
Now they had this thing in Europe for a while. If Chad had gone to like real restaurants instead of these these Portuguese ceviche houses or whatever they're called.
You bougie, Chad. You like that? Okay.
I don't
you're
do
just learning
fast
this
food
now.
I had no idea.
I do not do fast food, and it's very hard when you live in the Midwest. So when you live in Indiana, and it is like the density of fast food joints is ridiculous. Then you come here, and I literally have no fast food joints. It's wonderful.
You're like, I'm home.
I am.
They've revamped the Whopper too, Chad. You're missing a lot of good stuff here over in the States.
Nothing like a little different sludge.
Different sludge. Oh man.
Hey, don't knock Burger King. They gave me my first job, so
mine too.
Yeah, really.
You're too big. I was McDonald's.
I was McDonald's afterwards. I got fired from Burger King. Yeah. I worked there for about a year, got fired because I was late.
What was your job? Day. Were you at the cashier? Were you making...
Well, at Burger King, I was just making the burgers. And then when they fired me, I went, fuck you, walked down the road to McDonald's. They gave me a job straight away. Very quickly, I was like, I'm going to prove myself. And I was on the till. And then I had a white shirt and I had my 5 stars. So, I did really well. Thank you to the fast food industry. You got me where I am today.
And you, Chad, you were cook, right? You were flinging Whoppers.
No, it did everything. I know I did everything. Yeah, it was drive-through, Whoppers, fryer, all of it. Yeah, I did everything.
I was making the McDLTs at McDonald's. That's how old I am.
Cold side cold.
Cold side cold. I had those styrofoam, those big styrofoam trays, and you had like everything separate.
So bad. So bad.
Good times, guys. Good times.
Yes.
We're all. Let's get to some shout outs, shall we?
Shout outs.
Is it time for shout outs?
Here at the Chad G's podcast, one thing that we love is obviously you watching, but also like and subscribe.
I'll go ahead and go first, guys.
Yep. You're week back.
We talked about the rippling. We talk about rippling Deel all the time. Rippling, recent Super Bowl ad. They're hitting the airwaves hard. I missed the initial Deel advertising apparently a year ago. They didn't do Super Bowl ads, but they've been doing this. So anyway, Deel, not to be outdone by Rippling, as always, has launched an ad campaign called Dreaming of Dealing. That's clever, isn't it? I wonder what they paid the ad agency for that one. It's a fully AI generated campaign. The agency is Super Bloomhouse, who I guess who specializes in this stuff. It evolves from last year's Feeling of Dealing. So we've gone from Feeling of Dealing to Dreaming of Dealing. Very creative, with a dreamlike visual, transporting customers through the sky, working with different currencies and whatnot. The copywriting is the only thing that is human in this ad. Check it out.
Last night, Jade had the wildest dream. She could run payroll for anyone on her team anywhere in the world, no matter where they lived, in their local currencies, even crypto, with automated compliance and with local support. Her team could even get paid the day they needed, instead of waiting for payday, all on one global platform. When she woke up, it wasn't a dream, because she runs payroll through Deel. Hire, manage, pay, anyone, anywhere.
I love how AI has perfected the white girl dancing. Totally nailed that in that ad. Now, personally, I'm a little offended that a company that deals with human beings created an ad with no human beings. Like, I feel like there should be some sort of at least have humans in your advertising. Like, you are a product for humans. I feel like it's a big fail. I don't know. The ad kind of sucks anyway, but just the fact that there's no humans in it kind of pisses me off. As if Deel needed another reason to piss me off.
Which is worse? Do you think the Rippling ad is worse or the Deel ad is worse?
Rippling at least looks to tell some sort of a story.
Yeah.
Kind of like the old ads in the 70s on the highway, Chad. You get like the first billboard and then like, oh, I got to wait for the second. So at least there's maybe a story there and they have a funny guy.
Yeah.
So I'm at least open to that. This is just a cut and dry. The crypto spin was interesting, and they just partnered with some crypto company. I don't know if we talked about that or not. But anyway,
no.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rippling with the edge there.
They're both shit, I think. And I'm gonna stay with commercials. I'm gonna stay with commercials, Super Bowl commercials.
The shot.
And my shout out. You got the video?
I got the video, baby.
Okay, baby.
Shit's
my
locked
shout out
and loaded.
This week goes to Mo. That's right, our very own Maureen Wiley-Clough. A couple of weeks ago, Mo talked about Ring's search party Super Bowl ad and how she was kind of freaked out about it. But here's how it went.
Yeah, I labeled this one Chad's bullshit because I know you're going to call me out on this one. Here we go.
Did you guys see the Ring ad where they're like, help find lost dogs? And I'm like, this is not at all
the dog
about
finder
pulling the
thing.
wool over all of our eyes. And
Big
it's
brother.
mass surveillance, right? Exactly. Like,
It's
don't tell
enemy
me
of
that
the
you're
state,
doing
baby.
Exactly. I was like, God, come on. We see through that.
You guys, man, like every pair of Meta is recording everybody and every Ring camera is recording everybody. Let's save some dogs,
privacy.
man. That's okay.
God. Let's save some dogs. You're so cute. You're so gullible. I love it. I just love you so much, Cheeseman. Apparently, according to 404 Media and Mashable, dogs were only the start and keeping neighborhoods, quote unquote, crime free using facial recognition is really the goal. So it is the end of the world as we know it. And I feel like walking my dogs. So shout out to Mo. She ain't no fool.
Can we talk about how tight my mustache looked in that video? I need to go back. I need to go back to that. That was
He's
great.
gaslighting.
I
He's
mean,
I wake up in the morning, I'm just excellent.
how he was gullible during that thing. My
I
mustache.
have come to terms with the fact that privacy is a thing of the past. Just don't do anything stupid.
Oof.
I mean, that's a terrible thing to like come to terms with.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in an episode of Dark Mirror. I'm just like,
We are an episode of Dark Mirror.
which doesn't freaking end.
And we don't have to be happy about it, Cheeseman. You seem to be happy about it.
Look, like Obama said, the aliens are here. They've been watching us for generations. Like, just get over it. Just get over it. That's all I got. That's all
Emmy, what do you got?
Well, my one isn't a funny one. My one's going back to what we talked about before and what's happening in the Middle East. So my shout out is to all the amazing people who are in the UAE and the Gulf. And I tell you why. Dubai, for anyone who doesn't know, Dubai was my home for 12 years. I still consider it my home away from home. And I find it like, I just can't believe what's happening in the world. I'm getting text messages from my friends saying they can't sleep. Missiles are going overhead. Their kids are worried because they're not sure what's going on. It's super worrying, but everything I've seen out there, they are staying resilient. They are staying strong. The UAE government has been amazing as well. Very hospitable, putting up people who are stranded in the country in hotels and making sure they're fed. So like I said, to the UAE people, to the people in the Gulf, to the UAE government as well, I'm thinking of all of you. Stay strong and stay safe.
Nice.
Amen, sister.
Although, damn, that
escalated quickly.
Quickly. She brought it down. We need some pick me up by our friend Stephen McGrath.
There we
free
go.
stuff.
Hopefully he's shirtless. I hope he's shirtless.
Hi everybody, it's me, Stephen McGrath.
Oh yes.
And I'm here to tell you all about how you can grab some free stuff from chadcheese.com. Now, you might be wondering why I'm sitting here topless. And the answer is really simple.
No, I'm
because
not.
I've not grabbed my free t-shirt from Aaron app at chadcheese.com yet. Let me fix that. Right, that's better. So I'm sporting a slightly vintage model here, but of course there are new and updated designs every year, and those are super soft, breathable, and some might even say huggable. Now, what else can you get? Of course, you can get some craft beer. It's not just any regular rubbish beer. That's craft beer, brought to you by the data geeks at Aspen Tech Labs. And if you're not into beer too much, then 2 seconds. I'm just going to get that. Then you can always go for chicken cock, baby. That's right. Not one, but 2 bottles of chicken cock from the lovely people at Proven Base. Now, you're not going to get any of this stuff unless you go to chadcheese.com/free and get yours today.
There she blows.
Welcome to All Things Scottish. Our slogan is, if it's no Scottish, it's crap!
All right.
Chad, you watched the show Traitors, right?
Yeah.
Love Traitors. But I haven't seen the US one recently.
The US one
was watching the UK
compared
one.
to the UK is the best. Yeah. UK is the best. US one sucks.
So my wife loves it. I watched my first episode last night, and she's trying to convince me to try out for the next season, which apparently is normal people, and it's in Scotland. So her main sales pitch to me is you can go to Scotland for 6 months, however long the show is.
That'd be fun.
So that'll be a fun travel. But apparently you're going somewhere, Chad.
Where are we going, boys?
I am, and travel is sponsored by our friends over at Shake Recruitment Marketing, and this year is their 75th year in operation. March 24th through the 26th in Hertfordshire, England. Is that better? That was better.
Oh,
That's what I said.
I love that. Oi.
That's what I said, Emmy.
Get some drinks in. Get some drinks in. Get
going to the
lads.
Stop it. Going to the RLX, March 24th to the 26th, which is a fully hosted 2-day retreat for senior TA leaders. No vendor pitches, no expo halls, just smart people. They let me in, so I don't know about that. Peer insights and practical takeaways. So if you are a high-level recruiting leader, go ahead and go over to resourcingleaders.co and sign up today.
Nice.
Cool.
By the way, kids, quick reminder, if you're not plugged into our YouTube channel, you may have missed our latest bump highlighting hiring branches, flipping the funnel. So make sure you head out to chadcheese.com/@chat or youtube.com/@chatcheese or on LinkedIn, wherever you want to consume our shit. We're everywhere. We're like a bad rash, but make sure you check that out.
And there's not a shot either.
Shall we talk about some actual issues?
Let's do this.
Hitting the employment sector.
Topics!
We have the meat.
Changes. Lots of changes, kids, in the industry. Let's start with iCims, who has a new brand identity. Along with new visuals, they unveiled iCims Coalesce AI, the new name for their enterprise AI capabilities. Chad, you and I are old enough to remember all 3 iterations of the brand. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the original on my Yeti here. What are your thoughts on the latest iteration and changes at iCims?
Yeah, so you got to ask yourself why. Why would they do this? And, well, I believe it's time for a history lesson.
Oh, you're going to pull that out on me. Man. Let's go. Let's go.
Time for a history lesson.
So if you remember correctly, iCims was one of the first vendors, applicant tracking systems, to talk about using AI, right? And they even acquired Andrea Wade's startup, also known as the Chad and Cheese Deathmatch winner, Opening.io, an AI company. Al Smith, their CTO, was a damned genius, and him and Andrea worked together. It felt like their tech was definitely going in the right direction. And then 2 CEOs later, Andrea and Al are now gone, and iCims have lost that attachment to AI when it's cool. So iCims is doing this to try and insert themselves back into the AI narrative that they lost. Now, iCims was gracious enough to ask me to be a part of this whole process, this branding process, this messaging process, exercise, let's call it.
Like you were in meetings? You were in the...
And to be transparent, this was my final comment after going through all of this and seeing what the end result was. So here it is. Quote.
I'm excited.
The anticipation is killing us.
I know. It's like, come on.
I was in secret meetings, and here's my
so it's not that big. Okay. Literally, my comment was my comment was a fluffy new mission statement and brand identity means nothing without execution. I'm excited to see where this refresh takes iCims, but the jury is still out. To me, again, it's all pomp and circumstance, and what the industry needs right now is a leader in demonstrating outcomes. And I think that's one of the things that we saw from companies like Paradox, where they put their clients forward. They said they've been AI since they started. And that was just big for them. So since iCims has lost, since again their big AI people have gone, they want to try to get back in the narrative, and this is the start of it, I think.
So, are you under NDA to talk about those discussions and what was going on, or can you be totally?
They were mainly. They did a lot of work to just have one-on-ones, just so that it wouldn't be committee by decision, and you kind of have gang up sessions in those. So it was really smart just to kind of have one-on-ones.
What kind of questions were they asking you? They
were mainly just sharing information with me and getting my feedback, right? And at the end of the day, like I said, everything, all of this means nothing without execution, you know?
So you're saying that just using the word coalesce isn't going to be enough to make this thing a hit?
No.
Ask 100 people on the street to spell coalesce and see the vast variety of spellings that you get from them. Did they ask you about coalesce?
Yeah, I wanted to know if they asked you about the name.
No, just mainly it was branding and logos, colors, that kind of stuff. Mission statements, things that, it was just bylines. Those types of things. So you could kind of get what they were trying to go toward, or what they were hoping people would want to go toward, whether it was efficiency or AI or what it might be. But it was pretty standard stuff.
And was the term laser focused used? Because I have a clip here of Trent Cotton interviewing Jody Kaminsky, their CMO, about sort of the vision of this. Check this out.
Go ahead.
iCims should be super proud of the fact that we are laser focused on recruiting and hiring. we are 100% committed to recruiting and hiring and to help companies be exceptional at how they attract and hire new employees into their company. And you didn't really get that from the current iCims brand. If you look at the current iCims brand and look at our messaging, there's nothing about it that really shows our commitment to recruiting and hiring. And to
Okay, time out real quick. Her background is freaking me out. Her chair, the back of her chair is not lined up with her back.
Yeah.
And there's a mysterious thing of tea. Like you're British, Emmy. Is that a thing of tea? What is that?
Is that weird shadows going on back there too?
Are those scented oils in the background?
I think it might be scented oils. I think she just wanted to create a calming atmosphere.
It's freaking me out.
Yeah.
Okay,
And it's almost like McGrath's background, where she kind of blends into it to some extent.
Oh, she does.
It does match her a little bit. There's a white space that's troubling as well. All right, let's hear the rest of her comment.
The company that stays laser focused. We don't do other aspects of HR. We don't do payroll. We don't do other business applications. And that's because we think there's so much opportunity to help companies improve how they recruit and hire new employees. And that wasn't really coming through in our brand.
So is Coalesce now making it still come through?
By the way, here are the two brands side by side. Number 2 iteration and number 3. Ready?
Okay.
Yep.
Ooh.
Talent cloud.
Crazy. Yeah. That old logo was not demonstrating any kind of messaging that I trusted. Chad, it is interesting that you would say we're only focused on recruiting, because you have the Deals of the world, the Rippling, saying we're going to be everything to everybody. So do you guys have any thoughts on why at this time they would say, you know what, we're just going to do recruiting and hiring?
I mean, you take a look at
acquired. Is it like, hey, we're hoping to?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way. So, and here's what it comes down to. If iCims wants to get acquired, they have to change their mindset and attitude. They have to become aggressive. Over the last few years, they have become I don't know. It's almost like walled off. You know, they haven't really been a part of the market at all. It just feels like they've been disassociated from the market. They've been cold. They've been corporate, disengaged. But here's a simple interaction that I think the iCims head shed should actually learn from. So on LinkedIn, iCims actually posted, this new brand in Coalesce.
Yep.
And Mike Dickinson, who was the director of recruiting, actually said, quote, not trying to be snarky here, but as brand conscious as iCims has been, how much thought went into the name Coalesce? Sounds very similar to collace. Maybe it softens the hiring process. Something to think about, end quote. And then one of the iCims employees, Shannon Winning, came back to Mike and said, well, Mike, we believe in smoothing hiring outcomes for everyone. Smiley face. So that's what I'm talking about. That was like a real fun response. And in case Emmy doesn't know, collace is a stool softener, which is why yes.
A wee problem.
So there you go. Yes. That's something in the US where that you see these stupid pharmaceutical commercials all over the place. But this is what I'm talking about. iCims has been so cold and so corporate, and they haven't had really good messaging through the people that matter most, and that's their clients, right? They haven't engaged very well with the community. So I mean, hopefully they do that. New colors, new logos, not going to do that.
Were you in chats with the CEO? Do you have an impression of him at all?
No.
No chats with him.
Yeah.
So, Chad, question for you though, because I think I read somewhere that one of their bylines was responsible AI. So, did that come up in conversation?
Yeah, I know it did. I mean, and to me, and we've talked about this on the show before, responsible AI means nothing. There's no hard edges on it, right? It's just like saying, I mean, it means nothing.
Well, it depends how they spin it, because they can spin it as, responsible AI is their differentiator, because every tool is going to say they're AI powered. But does every tool lead by saying their, responsible AI.
That's a prove it thing, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
Yeah, it is 100%. Because if they lead down that path, they're going to be under scrutiny.
But they are much like many other vendors leaning heavily on saying responsible AI.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of companies saying AI. They say either one or two things: responsible AI or ethical AI. Pretty much it.
True. Yeah.
Chad, I can't let you get away with a history lesson without a history lesson.
Lesson.
Thank God.
So in 2001, I was living in Cleveland, and the Cleveland Indians, which they were known as then, were very popular, were very good. In 2001, they went to the playoffs, lost to Moe's Mariners. Could have gone all the way, but they didn't. After that season, they lost some major players and whatnot. Before the 2002 season, they unveiled what they called new and exciting uniforms. The new and exciting uniforms were basically the same uniforms with a silver lining around the Indians and the Cleveland. Get it? Silver lining. It was kind of a little double message there.
So bad.
The Indians went on to lose over half of their games and sucked. But the team was hoping that some new jazz hands and new exciting uniforms would take the attention away from the actual quality of the team and make people buy new jerseys with silver lettering. Anytime that you see this mental masturbation about new logos and new messaging and new whatever, it's usually a sign that things aren't going that great. We better put some shit out there that makes us look like we're actually doing something on the inside. And to me, this just totally reeks of that. They're trying to get your attention over here and not think about what our product is.
Can I tell you what I can't
God damn it, bring back Ike. Bring back the mascot. I want to go to the next conference and see an adult in a mascot uniform, so I can feel better about iCims again. I
do miss Ike, but that poor kid, that poor intern they put in that costume or whatever, that sucks.
Yeah, look, I'm not falling for it.
You're not going to fall for the banana and the tailpipe?
Not falling for it.
What do you think?
I think it's interesting. Look, iCims, am I a massive fan of the product? No, I haven't been for ages. We've demoed the product. It's okay, but compared to all the other ATSs out there, you're right, they haven't kept up. They're not innovative. I don't know what's actually going on. They're just a little bit stagnant, So I get what they're trying to do. I get that they're trying to lean in down this responsible AI route, to try and differentiate themselves. But like you said, if the product is not any better, if they're not innovating, if they're not keeping up with the market, then no one's going to buy their products anyway. They're just going to be in exactly the same situation. So maybe they just need to concentrate on the product line rather than, what was it? Mentally masturbating.
Mental masturbation.
Yeah.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah, I do like it. Yeah.
Shout out to our friend Will over there, by the way, Chad, who's celebrating like 5 or 6 years on the job. We do love the people over there.
It all comes down to what is next, right? It is the proof in the if you put out a great logo and message and just
doesn't matter.
Then it doesn't matter. But if you come out and you come out swinging, then that is fucking awesome. One of the things that we saw, and this is kind of like, I feel what they're trying to do. Rebecca Carr came in last February. She was anointed the new CEO, and she made a bold announcement on stage in Madrid saying, this shit's got to stop. We are changing. Now I'm paraphrasing. We are changing exactly what we're doing, right? We're going full AI. Next thing you know, they're getting bought by SAP, right? iCims has to be loud. They have to be proud. They have to be bold. They have not been since the last 2-3 CEOs. They got to get their fucking groove back. Stella has got to get her groove back.
And we met Winston when Smart Recruiters sort of came out, and we want a new Ike. Bring Ike back, and we can get excited. iCims, God damn it! All right,
another one
from one fledgling ATS to another. Employ has a new CEO. Jerry Yao has been appointed as the new CEO of the company, replacing Dara Brenner. The company says he brings experience in AI-powered marketing and SaaS to lead the parent company of Jazz HR, Lever, and JobVite. Stop me if you've heard this one before. A marketing guy taking over an ATS. Chad, what's your hot take on the changes at Employ?
Yeah, we had a lot of promise for this, Joel. Back when K1 rolled these guys up in February of 2019, we were pretty excited about this.
Sure.
Dan Finnegan was a CEO. It was a job fight. It was an Employ at that time. They created Employ. Then a friend of the show, Amon Brar, took over. And then again, how many CEOs have we gone through? To be quite frank, at this point, after this huge roll up, personally, I think K1 understands they've missed their acquisition window and they're going to play their Apollo card. They're going to bleed these companies dry because who in their right mind is going to buy this mess? And for the sake of their customers and their employees, I hope I'm dead wrong. But the only thing that I can see these guys doing is selling off as parts and doing the Apollo bleed it dried game.
Yeah, and I have to think the house of brands that they currently manage has got to go. There's got to be too many duplicitous positions, too much marketing money going into all these different brands. Like, I think that's what I've heard is that Lever is going to be sort of the main brand that they go forward with. Time will tell, but I think that's too disparate for like financial reasons to make sense. Dara is now chief product officer. So she's still with the company. It wasn't like that she left. And I think we understand some personal things that happened that she sort of stepped away from the company. The guy who took over, he's a total e-commerce like marketing dude. He started his first company at 15 years old. He's got all the sort of credentials. He sold a company to Constant Contact. If you're in email marketing at all, you know MailChimp and Constant Contact and all those guys. But like how that fits into an ATS company is a real stretch to me. The kid, you know, he's smart. He's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. But you and I, Chad, have seen a lot of CEOs that fit that description have not lasted very long and not been very successful. So I'm not exactly sure what he's being brought in to do as an e-commerce guy. But there's very little that makes me sort of think this is sexy and this is a great direction to go. Now, in their defense, whereas iCims has been sideways for a long time in regards to like headcount and what they've been doing, these guys are at least growing. So they're doing something right or something in there that's interesting. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on here. I'm not sure how he's going to save it. I'm with you, Chad. They're going to cut headcount more, cut the brands down, hopefully get this thing to something that they'll buy off the TJ Maxx clearance rack at some point. But yeah, I don't see a bright future for the folks at Employ.
And so do you think that even though they brought in a new CTO as well? Because the new CTO is starting in March, isn't it? This PJ Jean. And apparently his role is to, he comes with deep technical expertise and, kind of deep AI backgrounds. So maybe those two together could actually change things a little bit for Employ.
They have three different applicant tracking systems, three different code bases. So to be able to do this with smart recruiters, I thought that was going to be a feat in itself. They pulled it off. To be able to do it with three that are, I think all three of them might be older than smart recruiters as well. It's going to be hard. Not to mention, those are just the applicant tracking systems. They also have RPO. They also have all these different, pieces of tech that they've acquired over time. He better be a fucking magician.
I mean, like the first rule should be don't lose any customers. Like whatever we do, because I doubt they're getting new customers.
Probably.
So let's at a minimum keep who we have, and a new CEO kind of gets exciting. Oh, we got a new product, like new people, sort of. So they're giving people a reason to stick around to see how this movie ends.
Let's hope it ends well.
Sure.
Let's hope.
I mean, JobVite was the OG sort of social media ATS. They moved. I mean, they have offices here in Indianapolis and have some roots here. Amon Brar, we know really well. So I'm rooting for iCims and I'm rooting for these guys because I think people need choice, consumers need options, and these guys are options. But yeah, it's an uphill battle for sure.
They've both lost attention. That's been the biggest issue. I mean, you take a look at Paradox. They stole the mind share and attention. Then you look at what Smart Recruiters did, and then you look at some of the things that Fountain. I mean, they literally, these other companies have stole mind share away from these bigger companies, and they've dwindled, and they've allowed this shit to happen. It's not like they don't have the money or the fortitude to be able to take care of it. It's almost like they got fat, lazy, and took a nap.
Yeah,
but I think a lot of people are. I don't like. We've spoken to recently so many ATS vendors, the big names, and what I'm finding is a lot of them just rest on their laurels. You can speak to them about, look, the market is changing. It's getting more complex to hire, particularly as organizations are getting, recruited on a global scale now rather than just regional. It's like we need all these we need your systems to adapt. And, very often what we're faced with, is cool. That's a great idea. Let me take to my product team. And it just goes on a product backlog. And then, I chase up and go, hey, what's going on? Is there any feedback? Have you taken this into consideration even? And they're like, no. And that's why you get other organizations going, look, all these old legacy players, you're not keeping up. You're failing. We'll go with a newer, smaller, upcoming ATS provider.
Ashby.
Yeah.
They're big they're definitely big in Europe.
Yeah. They're great. Yeah.
Chad, you hit the nail on the head when you said, tell a story. Rebecca talked to everybody. She was on every show, every stage. She was telling the story, and it was an enticing story. And these guys,
who's this Josh guy at fucking iCims? I don't know this dude. Who are these guys that are coming to? I mean, we don't know these guys. So hopefully, they start to insert themselves in the market because they're going to get their asses handed to them.
But a story is not enough. You can tell a great story, but if people use your products and it's shit. That story just falls apart.
Tell that to Tesla. Have you seen their shares?
Actually, yeah, true.
The fact that Chad was in on this new branding thing and doesn't know the CEO is a little bit weird. That's an opportunity to build a bridge to a thought leader.
Yeah.
In Chad. That's right. I'm throwing you pearls.
Thanks, man.
Throwing you pearls. All right, guys, let's take another break, and we got some more changes. If you like what you've heard, everybody, please subscribe at your podcast platform of choice. Leave us a review. Share us with 100 of your favorite friends. We'll be right back.
So you posted a new job ad. Now you can sit back and wait for the applications to roll in, right? That's why we built JobPixel. Imagine showing candidates why your company is great with real people, real stories, and real culture. With JobPixel, it's not just another job ad. It's an invitation to something much bigger.
Video gives you a 3 times better response rate. So instead of chasing after candidates, they'll be coming to you.
And with a 34% boost in conversions, candidates aren't just looking, they're applying.
And if you're worried about people clicking away, don't be. Our videos reduce bounce rates by 25%. That means they're watching, they're engaged, and they're interested.
282% more engagement. Yeah, you're gonna need a bigger inbox.
Finding the right candidate is tough. But with JobPixel, it doesn't have to be. Show your company's authentic story, and the candidates will follow.
Let's make recruiting fun again, because honestly, it could use some help.
Do you want to see how JobPixel can save you time and money while achieving your KPIs? Schedule a demo today.
At Shaker Recruitment Marketing, our comprehensive services include branding, talent attraction, MarTech, and analytics, empowering you to achieve your recruitment marketing goals. We believe in doing things the right way, delivering the right message through the right activation, achieving the right conversion. For us, business is deeply personal. Our legacy is built on relationships. Together with our people, clients, and partners, we've been shaping the world of talent for over 70 years.
All right, kids. Indeed has appointed Jim Giles as its new chief technology officer. The company says Giles, a former Google VP of engineering, will leverage his expertise in scaling technology and AI to enhance Indeed's platform and drive growth. In case you missed it, Indeed had operated without a CTO since the early days of the Biden administration. But maybe more noteworthy than what's been filled is what's still empty. Chad, you are on the front lines of this issue. What you got?
Okay, so early last week, it's story time. Early last week, Julie started asking me questions about Indeed leadership. And I've been so damn focused on Himes as the CEO and how he was steering the Indeed Titanic straight into a damned iceberg. I felt like an idiot saying, wait, what? CTO? And she's like, yeah, they haven't had a CTO in 4 years. CPO? They don't have a chief product officer? She's like, no, they've never had a chief product officer. And I'm like, well, shit. We've been wondering why, and go figure, my wife trudges this up, but we've been wondering why Indeed has been so damn sloppy over the past 5 years. Hell, for most of it, they didn't have a CTO. And they've never appointed a chief product officer. So it feels like Recruit Holdings has tried running Indeed as on the cheap from an executive leadership standpoint. And when a company prioritizes appointing a chief revenue officer, generating revenue, over appointing a chief product officer, actually creating great products, you end up with this kind of fucking slop. So, I come from the revenue side, and I have watched many CROs bully leadership into stupid product and marketing decisions. Hell, I might have done that a few times myself, but never at a company the size of Indeed. That's literally, there's literally no balance at the top. So I said it before, and I will say it again. I'll continue saying it. Indeed isn't a tech company. They're a staffing company with shitty tech.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah, Chad, you talked about Chris Himes. Chris Himes was the leader they needed at the time that they employed him in that position. But, he was, as he was laying off thousands of people, he was funding a movie called Rising Voices to the tune of millions of dollars. And it just reeked of sort of just tone deaf about where the world was going. And he no longer holds that position. And I think they've realized, look, we have this amazing brand, this entrenched business that just prints money. Let's just throw some shit at the wall and see what sticks. Let's just keep the thing going. And somebody got smart, apparently, and said, look, we need some real adults in the room to talk about new products and where we're going with all this stuff and have some sort of a clear vision. And what better way to do that than have a Google VP in the ranks telling you how to do tech? So to me, this is a step in the right direction. It sounds like they may still have some pieces they need to still plug in.
Yeah.
But good for them for finally realizing they can't just float on past successes and just count money and just ride the boats and hoes for the rest of life. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think, obviously Indeed's been fledgling for many years now. So I think bringing in the CTO, someone like Jim Giles, is a great thing to do, So if he does his job well, he can bring in a clearer tech roadmap. He can, have better alignment, I suppose, between sales and the product. That's fantastic. I think they've got the right person in. My worry is that without the chief product officer, he can bring in a great product, but it'll be aimless because there's no direction. You don't understand what kind of what hiring problems you're trying to solve for. You don't know where to prioritize. So that is the problem. Having a great tech tool, you said it's not a tech tool, but having a great product, that's one thing. But if it's not focused in the right area, because you haven't got a chief product officer, it's kind of a bit of a pointless.
Well, and it's not just that, because if you read Julie's article, just go to jobboarddoctor.com. If you read her article, she actually goes through the product names and the overlaps.
Yeah,
and
they do have. Yeah.
You don't know what product is what for who and why. And wait a minute, this does this, but it kind of does this too. And it's like, there's no clear fucking direction over there at all. So you can have a great CTO to be able to, build stuff. But if you don't have a product person to be able to actually pull it together and make it pretty and make it understandable, you get this slop that we've gotten from Indeed.
Because they got a lot of overlapping features as well. And that's the thing. No one's going to really understand. Like you said, no one's going to understand. If they don't understand the product, no one's going to buy the product. No one's going to invest money in the product.
And you can tell that the revenue side has been a part of this because they are just rebranding old shit as new shit. And they're trying to bump up the price because they're like, oh, sales needs more money. Well, we'll just put a new wrapper on this and we'll sell it for more. It's like, no, motherfucker. We know that's the same shit in a different wrapper.
They're basically GM in the 70s. Like, we can just keep making shit cars because what else are people going to buy? And eventually the Japanese car showed up and everyone said, oh, shit, we better get our act together. Well, this is Indeed saying we better get our act together.
Let's see what happens.
This is at the windy, boys.
Step in the right direction.
All right. Speaking of steps in the right and wrong direction, the AI apocalypse rolls on. In this week's news, 3 well-known companies were in the news regarding the impact of AI on employment. Most notably, everyone heard about Block, Jack Dorsey's company, cutting headcount by a whopping 40%, citing AI as the main catalyst. It's not all doom and gloom, however. Jamie Dimon is going to shift employees into new roles as automation evolves. And instead of cutting jobs, Walmart is going to train its entire U.S. and Canadian workforce, about 1.6 million people, on how to use AI tools through a partnership with our friends at Google. The good, the bad, and why isn't Jamie Dimon running for president? Chad, what's your take on all the AI apocalypse news this week?
Yeah, so Dorsey, I mean, this is bloat, and the real the real culprit for massive tech layoffs today is literally just incompetent leadership. We talked about this. There have been huge swaths of tech people being cut because they overhired during the pandemic. They didn't know how to manage it whatsoever. So now we're seeing it. Now it's being blamed on quote unquote AI. AI's doing it. You take a look at freaking Jamie Dimon. Not a huge fan of the dude, but he's a great businessman. He will be able to, and you might have missed it last week, Cheeseman, but he might be able to literally just have Claude come in and fix their COBOL situations and save them hundreds of millions of dollars on infrastructure, on updates, and on consulting just alone. And then last but not least, Walmart. What the fuck are Walmart greeters going to use AI for? They are, I mean, they're talking about 8 hours of AI training. And I'm just thinking of the retail section. What are all those individuals going to use AI for? Right. And Walmart saying, well, we're not going to replace them. Well, I don't think you're going to anytime soon. You need people that are there that can answer questions. You know, where's the ketchup? You move the ketchup, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of funny because I was thinking, who the fuck is going to use AI in the warehouse? Am I going to ask my phone? Am I going to ask Siri?
Yeah, okay, that's cool. You can use it for managing
now.
Yeah, but there'll be better ways to do that now. You know, the people in the warehouse who are managing
better
stock,
than talking to your phone,
managing stock, you know, scheduling shifts. You can use AI to be more efficient in that area.
I do like that.
Yeah, so maybe not maybe the people on the shop floor, but people behind the scenes, they can use AI. So I think it's a great idea. You know,
but we've talked about it though. Recruiters, if recruiters are quote unquote using AI, well, then you've installed the AI wrong. It should be running in the background doing tasks that you shouldn't have to do anymore. So why am I taking an 8-hour course, like you're saying for scheduling? Why am I taking an 8-hour course on something that AI is going to be doing behind the scenes in the first fucking place? I don't think that these CEOs understand what AI is actually going to do and how real it can transform their company and how it will transform their company.
So much of this is the story that we talked about.
It is,
Walmart has spun this story about we can keep people employed and we do well. So now the narrative is we're not going to let people go. We're going to superpower our people with AI. So now investors are like, ooh, that sounds pretty cool. I don't know exactly what's going on, but we're going to keep the people that have made us profitable and make them that much more efficient. God. Whereas the Jack Dorsey story, do what?
I think you two are so cynical. I'm seeing some of the positives in this.
Have you heard our show?
What have I been for the last year? Honestly, I think there's some good in this.
Because Dorsey's on the other side of that. Dorsey's on the Silicon Valley, what the hell are you doing with people, working narrative. So it's like, yes, I overhired. Yes, our stock was rocking 5 years ago and now it's in the shitter. So I'm going to weave this narrative around. We're going to create efficiencies and lay off 40% of their people, and voila, their stock goes up 25%. They're in the news. Jack Dorsey's a quiet genius with his, stoic beard that's growing way too big. So like these narratives continue to go on. Jamie Dimon might be probably the smartest one in there, saying like, yes, the bank is history wise. Chad and I remember when ATMs came around, there were going to be no tellers, no more banks. Well, what they figured out was, the tellers don't just have to count cash. Now we can train them to give house loans or give financial expertise and upsell people on things.
Open checking accounts. So do more of that.
Yeah. So, dude, this narrative, I go back and forth, man. One day I'm like, we're done. And the next day, like, it's going to be okay. I'm kind of on the it's okay thing now. And what I think about is in our own world, Chad, we talk about startups. All the startups now, everyone getting money are people that are combating the whole automated job candidate application shit. So whether it's verifying candidates, whether it's building scale around recruiting, so from the beginning of time, people have created problems for themselves and businesses have been launched to solve these problems. Do we think that AI is going to create more or less problems in the world?
More.
Probably more.
Yeah.
And more means more businesses to solve these problems, more people to solve the problems. You can look at the eightfold case, Chad.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think the legal profession will have more lawsuits because of AI or fewer lawsuits?
Well, it's literally just identifying more areas where the ambulance chasers can go running at, right? I mean, I agree.
Yes. So,
but if that's the case, and AI is going to cause more problems, we both agree that's the case. I also think that there's more fear around using AI. And so I think what Walmart is doing by training, yes, I think it's a PR exercise, but I also think by training their staff on how to use AI, what is AI, why you shouldn't be scared of AI, how it can actually improve your job and not take away your job. That is also positive as well.
I just don't think they're going to need to use it. I think it's going to be working in the background and there's no reason for any human to really touch it.
But they need to understand how it works in order to, bring up better versions of the AI product. It can't just be something in the background and go, the machine said that. You have to know how it works. You need to know how it made decisions, for example. So I think that's a good thing. It
it's just
all
like
depends
interview
what they're
scheduling,
teaching.
Emmy. I don't need to know how interview scheduling works. I just know that it happens.
What about if it's a tool that helps to, kind of flag good CVs, for example? You need to know how it makes decisions. So it makes sure.
Why are you gaslighting me? I was just talking about interview scheduling. And then you want to do somewhere else.
I don't like that one. Okay.
Yeah.
The World Economic Forum's 2026 Global Risk Report said that 92 million workers will be displaced by 2030, but it also said 170 million new roles will be created in that time frame. Look at the war. Do you think there are going to be some new weapons that are created, more drones built, more shit so we're probably going to keep the battleships and the carriers, but we're also going to have a whole new class of weapons that are going to have companies building those weapons, cyber war. I mean, the problems just keep coming and we're going to have to create solutions to these problems, which I think ultimately is good for business.
Fucking humanity.
It's fucked.
Done. I think we'll cover speed and hiring.
Did somebody say speed? Then buckle up, boys. You're about to learn how to hire fast.
Who is that?
Veti Betty. From Veti, the hiring acceleration platform. Come on, man, keep up. What's up, Betty?
Hey, Chad. Veti makes high compliance hiring easy. Background checks, licensing verifications, and health screenings, all in one place. Real-time updates, no red tape, and no delays. Hiring managers can move fast, stay smooth, and close the deal.
So they just sit back and watch. Hell, I could watch this all day.
That's right. Relax, enjoy the view, and don't lose the hire. It's that simple. With Veti, it's all taken care of before they can even catch their breath.
Best lesson ever.
Class dismissed, boys. Veti. Hiring as it should be. Visit veti.co to learn more.
All right, guys. ZipRecruiter.
Talking about fuck humanity.
Might be eating some crow here. I don't know. ZipRecruiter reported its first quarterly year-over-year revenue growth in over 3 years in Q4, with revenue rising 0.6% in the quarter to $111.7 million. I love how we talk about hundreds of millions of dollars in our space when people are talking about billions in other spaces. Anyway, the growth has been driven by enterprise employers and performance-based revenue. All this despite a 10% drop in U.S. job openings and a soft holiday hiring season. Chad, did ZipRecruiter just become the hottest company in TA?
Well, it took them long enough to get into the enterprise market, for God's sakes. While that now they're pissing away the SMB side of the house. But what they have done is they were starting to use Indeed tricks, right? And the Indeed tricks are the black box pricing. So it's demand pricing. So, I mean, instead of just charging one flat rate for everything, now they're looking at demand and they're making more money. So it took them long enough to fucking get here. How long will it last? So that's the question.
No, I agree. And I think if all the money is, if this kind of short win or this win that we're seeing at the moment is just being propped up by the enterprise organizations, that doesn't translate into long-term sales. So this is where they need to have some kind of strategy to kind of maintain that momentum. And I'm not convinced that's going to be the case, in all honesty.
I think it's their product set. I think their product set is short term. They can create a much better long term product set for enterprise. I don't think they have that. I don't think they're close to having that. I think they've had a nice short win. When was the last time? 2022.
2022. Yeah,
2022. So this has been a long fucking time, guys. Yeah. So you're right. They get one win. We can't anoint a new king. That's for damn sure.
That's propping everything up. Yeah,
guys, you're missing everything, guys. It's their new Zip Crooners ad. It's the singing crooners.
Is that what it is?
On the new. That's it. That's
we had no
that's
idea.
The secret. No, I can simplify this even more. So they've laid off some people. They're AI folks. But if you go to their site, Chad, Phil is gone. The whole Phil chatbot find a job is not on the home. It's gone. I couldn't find it. They've gone back to the traditional search box, forced registration. You got to give us your info before we show you the jobs. Like they've just said, fuck this new shit. We're going back old school and we're making everyone give us their data. We're going to force everyone to, yep. And, enterprise enterprise does look for other options. They look for other things. So, I mean, budget's shifting around. Indeed is charging more. LinkedIn's charging more. Let's try that ZipRecruiter thing again. So I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, but I tell you,
not going to fall
getting
for the
rid
banana
of
in the
Phil
tailpipe?
and the Zip Crooners are the reason for this, everybody. It's the real reason.
Oh, it's so bad. So bad.
All right, let's get to a dad joke, shall we?
Okay.
And today's dad joke is sponsored by Jeremy Cheeseman, my 8-year-old son, who shared this with me. Are you ready?
Yes.
Why did Donald Trump put lipstick on his forehead? Why did Donald Trump put lipstick on his forehead? He needed help to make up his mind.
Oh, wow.
Jeremy.
No, I'm going to give that to Jeremy. No, that's love. That's
Jeremy.
cute. Yeah.
He's learning on the job.
Yeah.
I'll get him there. I'm his Yoda. I'm his Yoda, guys. Good to see everybody. We out.
We out.
Thank you for listening to, what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar. Blue. Nacho. Pepper jack. Swiss. So many cheeses and not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chadcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!